Hello, I'm Jess Arce, America's dyslexia expert. And today I wanted to talk to you about the importance of supper with your family, as today is National Supper Day. I was very fortunate to grow up having supper or dinner with my family and every day. And it's funny because I didn't realize that most people didn't do that. And so when I had kids, it just became automatic for me to have supper with my family every day. And I worked for most of my kids' lives. I've been self-employed. I was a realtor. I did childcare. I owned a little preschool. And then, of course, I started my tutoring business. And up until the time that I had my tutoring business, I cooked dinner 6 days a week for my family. And one day a week, it was usually Friday, we had Fend for Yourself Friday. And so my kids would invite friends over for dinner all the time, and most of their friends did not eat dinner together as a family. So that's why I feel it's so important today to come here and share with you the value in eating as a family. And maybe you don't have time to cook dinner every day. Even if you order food takeout or have food delivered, you can still sit together as a family and spend time together. Once I started my tutoring business, I hadn't ever planned on starting the business, and I definitely didn't plan on it taking off as quickly as it did. So at that point, my kids were from about age, my oldest one was probably 21, and my youngest one was 8 years younger, so he was 13. So when my kids were, I had 4 kids between the ages of 13 and 21, all of them living at home, plus my husband. And so I told everyone, you each need to cook dinner 1 night a week. And so there were 6 of us. So 6 nights a week, one person cooked dinner, and we still had Fend for Yourself Friday. And then as my kids started moving out, we started having more Fend for Yourself days. So then there was like Saturdays, Fridays and Saturdays, everyone was on their own to cook once my oldest one moved out. And I always cooked dinner on Sundays because I felt like that was the best day to like really cook a nice meal. And I usually cooked like comfort foods, and then we spent time together afterwards. And so my kids learned how to cook. Each one had a different type of food that they liked to cook. My oldest son usually cooked Asian food. My daughter tended to cook frozen meals. My husband cooked Mexican food. Like I said, I cooked American comfort food. My son Jacob cooked, he liked Indian food or food with curry. And my youngest son, Sammy, would either make hamburgers from scratch or he'd make spaghetti and either meatballs or meat sauce. So we had something different every day. We were only responsible for cooking 1 day a week. And all of my kids left home prepared, able to cook meals. So I highly recommend doing that. And you could get your kids to start doing it a lot younger than I did, because at first, maybe you could start by making a meal with your kids as young as like 6, 7, maybe even 8. And by 9, I bet they would be ready to start making spaghetti. And I know when I was 10, I learned how to make ham steaks, and sometimes my youngest son would make breakfast for dinner. So there's lots of things that younger kids can do for dinner, and you just get them to give you their menu ahead of time or their grocery list ahead of time so that you can go out shopping. And we have an attachment that we're handing out for free to help you. And it has 2 different formats to help you be able to plan a schedule. So each of your family members, whether you have just 2 of you or 6 of you or 12 people at home, you can each take turns cooking meals. And the great thing about sitting and eating together is you can catch up with each other, see what you did that day, and the good things, good part of your day, maybe the challenges that you experienced during the day. You just build a nice relationship with your family. And I got to tell you, my family is really close. My kids, actually today when I left home, I heard my youngest son, who still lives with me, was online playing a game with his oldest brother, who is in Orange County at college. So my kids are super close, and I attribute that to the fact that they ate meals together pretty much 6 days a week. When my kids were in sports, I had 3 kids playing football. On the same days, they would have football practice. And so the one kid who wasn't playing football, I would have that kid pop food in the oven or make spaghetti or meatballs or warm something up that I had already prepared. So sometimes we would stop at Sonic and just bring it home. But rather than just eating in the car in a hurry or going to your separate rooms and eating or eating in front of the TV, take tonight and set the table. And you could all make dinner together if you wanted, or one of you make dinner and just sit down together and talk and maybe play games. There was a time when we had a jar, well, we still have the jar, but we used to have the jar on the table and we'd pull out a sheet and it would give you ideas to talk about things. You could easily Google that kind of thing these days, conversation starters, and find things to talk about, or play a card game at the table after dinner and just make it fun and get to know your family. I hope that you find this video helpful and gives you some ideas on how to have a super supper tonight together on National Supper Day. And watch our other videos to learn more about dyslexia, dysgraphia, dyscalculia, and different learning challenges. Ta-ta for now.